Hello everyone, my name is Ultimate Chicken, and welcome to Chapter 2 of Bunny Must Die, Chelsea and the Seven Devils, Episode 1, or Episode 15, depending on if you count the original episodes as part of this playthrough, but anyway, let's jump right in, as I put in my name, and we'll see what Chapter 2 has in store for us. And here we start. Now, the first thing you'll notice about Chelsea is that she's a lot bigger than Bunny. If I remember correctly, her crouching stance is the same size as Bunny's standing stance. So she's quite a lot taller. And, wow, she can walk right immediately. She doesn't need a power-up. She's Chelsea. She does what she wants. And she can fire from her hands. However, she cannot fire in any direction other than forward or down a bit. And down as well. And if while jumping you fire, you do this weird fireball thing. But that's not very useful at all. Another thing you can probably notice is that she can float. Which is very handy. And she's all about how using power to get through puzzles rather than using agility like Bunny was. Anyway, in place of Bunny's moving right, she just has a heart container. Although she's all about power, she's, curiously enough, not heavy enough to push down these buttons. She can destroy them, like I said, all about power, but she can't push them down. So, looks like we're gonna have to go rope now. The game's a lot harder in Chelsea's playthrough, but also a lot easier in many ways. It has roughly the same map with a few changes, but there was where the first time power-up was as Bunny, and it's changed. Now, instead of time, we get mana down there at the bottom, which we can't use yet. And already, they've taken out this save point, so we're saving here. And no moving platform. Like I said, they're trying to make it harder, but it doesn't really work because we can float. Now, as Chelsea can't shoot up, once you go down here, you're stuck down here. There's no way to get back up because you can't shoot up. And she can stomp on enemies, but she doesn't do much damage at all. She can't stomp on torches. So let's go down to where the first boss was and see if she's still there. And this boss gets a lot more difficult with Chelsea because Chelsea cannot shoot up. You just have to keep jumping and shooting. Chances are I'm gonna die because, like I said, not an easy boss to do. Mainly because it's the first and we're absolutely powerless. When you duck, you shoot a lot faster than when you stand up and just shoot normally. So ducking is usually a good idea. Depending on where you're shooting from, she shoots at different speeds. And here we have where Bunny got the dash. We get the ladder, which is our first smell at the bottom. The ladder is this, and with it we just screw platforming and we can just bypass like all of the platforming in the game with this. And not only that, It's really, really damage inducing. Really damage inducing. I'll show you what I mean on one of these pumpkin heads. It does a lot of damage. And it's also going to be a main way of attacking up, because otherwise you can't. So, let's continue upwards. Nope. We've got a ladder now. Huh. Screw platforming, we have ladders. So, continue upwards and... over here is... our first elixir. Which is Chelsea's version of Bunny Dolls. But, unlike Bunny, her elixirs work slightly differently. For one, they activate as soon as you get them, so you don't need a time power up like you did with Recall. For another, they work without asking. When you die, a message box comes up telling you that you've used an elixir, and you don't really get a choice in the matter. Which is fairly annoying, because if you want to try and keep your elixirs, which you should, it means that you have to restart every time you die. Like, manually. Anyway, down here is somewhere. Can't quite remember where, I think it's over here. Yep. Is Chelsea's life power-up. Or is it? No, the developers are too sneaky in this playthrough. They don't just give you the items, you must search for them. They do those fake item things a lot in this playthrough. I'll warn you now. Chelsea shoots as fast as when she's ducking, when she's on a ladder. So it's better to do that than to jump and shoot. Okay, so in here is yet another boss. This boss was easy with Bunny, but it's not so much with Chelsea. Best way to do it is to activate these, then go there and duck, and you should shoot through them. This boss is incredibly difficult with Chelsea for some reason. I'm not even sure why. I mean, with Bunny you can just go there, spam the boomerang, and nothing bad would happen to you. But we managed to get through it. So I'm going to go back and save because I don't want to die. Because I'm very cautious safety with Chelsea, because I don't like restarting manually. So we go through here. And we get the first gem. Instead of red, it's blue. You get the blue gem. And one thing I forgot to mention, when I defeated the first boss, when you defeat a boss, your shots get more powerful. For every boss you defeat, you absorb the power of one of the 7 devils. There are 7 devils in this playthrough, as the name states, as opposed to Bunny, who defeated 5. So that means we're going to be fighting 2 bosses that we haven't seen before. I don't think I've forgotten anything. Like I said, Chelsea's all about power. It's just blast through everything, rather than taking a careful look at anything. Anyway, we've got the blue gem, but there's nowhere to place it. So what do? Well, it's Chelsea. We blow up everything. And we're on to the next one. Fool's Abbey. and we had to do the massive time jump with Bunny, but of course, since we're Chelsea, we screw platforming and use a ladder. First thing to do, get up here and grab the life. Of course, these time blocks we can't switch between because we're not Bunny with the power of time. Actually, if I remember correctly. Oh. Ugh. Yeah, the ladder destroys blocks if you hadn't noticed already, which you probably did. So, since we can't operate switches to open doors, how do we get up to that? How do we get up to that life? That continue point, I guess? That altar? Well, if you haven't learned by now, it's Chelsea. Destroy everything. You should be starting to see a theme here. We don't want to go there. We just want to save it there. Again, how do we get up to the top if we can't operate the switches? It's Chelsea. Destroy everything. If I remember correctly, there is an item up here that I think we could go. But I think we can get. Actually, that wasn't safe. We just ladder up here, and we have another power, Vermilion Rod. This is a very cool power. It's also the first one we've got that uses mana. It's really cool, but it's not so useful. We can switch between the ladder and the Vermilion Rod by pressing time, and then we can use whichever we want by pressing up and attack. Sorry. This one affects time. But when you move, time moves. And there's a meter at the bottom of the screen that depicts, well, how long you've got left. And it also uses up mana for one mana we've got. Mrs. Scythe Girl isn't here today. So, and neither is the vampire. That's a bit odd. But I think that's all I've got time for this episode. So, because there's a 15-minute limit now for some reason. So, I'll see you all later. This is Ultimate Chicken, and if you could like, or favourite, or comment, or whatever to the video, then that would be very much appreciated. Thank you.